Alright, so third problem in our arrays and hashing. Let's begin by looking into the problem, which is a two sum. So we have an array of integers called nums and an integer which is a target. We want to return the indices of the two numbers that such that they add up until to become the target. So we have an assumption that each input would have exactly one solution, and we can't use the same element twice. So basically we can't have the same indices, the same index as twice. Alright, so we can also return the answer in any order, so it doesn't really care if the first index is first or the last, so it doesn't really matter. Right, so we have this input, which is our array 2, 7, 11, and 15, and the target is 9. So just by looking, we know that 2, 7 are the target. Right, so the index is 0 and 1 here. So yep, it kind of makes sense. Where is the number of this is 2 and the number of this is 7, so sum is 9. Let's look at other example. 3, 2, 4, and the target is 6, so we have 3 and 2 doesn't work, 2 and 4 works, so basically it's gonna be 1 and 2. Right, so one approach to this problem is using the remaining while iteration, remaining of target while iteration. What does that mean? So for example, for our first example here, we have 2, 7, 11, and 15. First visited 2. We're just gonna store some in some data structure the remainder of 9 minus 2, which 9 is our target and 2 is our current value where our index at. So 9 minus 2 is 7, so we're gonna check in our data structure if we have this value of 7. If we don't have it, then we move on, but we already have, we will store the 2 in our data structure, so we passed by 2. So if we visit any numbers that needs 2, we inform him, hey, we already have the visit 2, so basically we have that exactly one solution available, and we should return the indices at this position. So if we complete the iteration and got into the second loop, we have 7. So let's check for the remaining. 9 minus 7 is gonna be 2, and we're gonna check if our data structure contains a value that represents this 2, and exactly we already have one. So since we have the remainder and the current index that both make our target value, so we just make exactly those two indices and we return them. Right, so let's see how can we solve this problem in code. So we have we will probably use hash map for storing the indices. So first one is going to be the integer, and the value is going to be, the key is integer and the value is integer. So now we have our hash map set, and we're gonna need to iterate. So we need to care about the index, so we will need to have we have the index in our for loop. Alright, so now we need to the remaining is target minus current, so, and current here is nums. So yeah, now we have the remaining. In our case it's gonna be 7. So we're gonna check if our map contains key of the remaining, and if it does contain our remaining, then we're gonna make new array size 2. Actually, we don't really need to make the size, and it would be with our index and the remaining which represents this index. So this one represents the index. All right, otherwise if it doesn't contain the remaining key, what we do, we just put our current with the index. So now that's strong naming, and we must find some value because you already have exactly one solution, but the compiler would probably give us an error because we don't have a return type here. So I'm just gonna make it return -1 and -1, but we would never reach this position ever. So let's run the code and let's see how does it work. Alright, so it works fine, amazing, it's kind of optimized. And that was for this problem. See you next time.